6 months of Talking Loyal, 31 episodes, and 1 Matt Jarvis.
Evening, Tate.
Evening, Jack. You good?
Yes, mate, all good.
Here we are.
Yeah.
Episode 31.
31 is it.
No Matt Jarvis this time.
No, sadly not. Matt didn't fancy a back-to-back. But
No, I hope you listeners enjoyed the episode 30 special.
Yeah, we're obviously buzzing with a response, I think.
Yes.
And
amazing response.
How it was perceived with lots of good messages, and loads of people watched it, listened to it, and it was good. Really glad it went. Hopefully it's gone down well, but I think it has. Glad it did go the way it did. Really.
Trying to hide that from everyone was extremely hard.
It was. And on that, the start of the episode, you can tell. Well, for me in particular, I was obviously quite nervous, but
we both were really nervous. It was.
But the start, for example, just to put you in my shoes, we'd planned. We do these like all off the cuff, if you like. We do some research and notes, but we never write out a speech or as such. The only part that's scripted is probably the intro, where Tate says his little bit about what's happening, what's gone in the week, what's happened the weekend, and the bit after. So this part is whatever, we just go with it.
Yeah.
And not for some reason, but on the Jarvis one, we went for a different plan, as like, I would do the start and introduce it, blah, blah. So then when it got to that part, I'm sat there staring at my screen, and I'm thinking, you're meant to talk. But no, Tate normally does this bit. But Matt Jarvis is there. But wait, Jack, say something. It was all happening, and it felt like 10 minutes, but it was probably, maybe
10 seconds.
10 seconds. It just felt like an eternity. But hopefully, when you listen and watch it, you see after that point, I feel like we were pretty good, and it went well, and we were comfortable, and were more relaxed as it went on. Zoom
calls in general are an awkward thing.
Yeah,
because I'm not used to them. I don't do them.
No,
I do maybe 5 a year, if that. Like, I'm not used to them.
No.
So getting used to the software was all one thing, and then like if he was sitting next to us, you'd just say hello and you'd be normal. But we look because we could look at each other through the screens, and we're also like, oh no, someone needs to say something.
Yeah, someone talk, and when you're talking or when you're asking questions and stuff, you're trying to think about the next moment to to not stop the conversation. But it's all things we're learning as we go, I suppose. And
neither of us are professionals.
No,
we're not interviewers.
As you can probably tell. Yeah.
Yeah.
And like we said before, but. Yeah, Jarvis was brilliant, wasn't he?
He was absolutely fantastic, to be fair. Even from the get-go, when we had him in the lobby.
Yeah.
Or even before that, from how it all started, really, wasn't
Yeah.
it? I think it was a drunk DM, and I put him on my story.
Yeah, we pested his social media, and then it seemed to come off.
I remember waking up in the morning and seeing a DM from Matt Jarvis. He was like, let's get it on. And I was like,
Is that real?
What did I do last night? And then, it just snowballed from there. And we did it last. Well, it's 2 Thursdays ago, wasn't it? While Spurs were playing
City away.
City, yeah. But no, he was absolutely fantastic. Absolute credit to him.
He has absolutely.
Footballers get a bad rep for being all these things under the table. Everyone knows all the words, but he was absolutely gave up an hour and a half of his time to sit with two people he never knew before, who have done 30 podcasts and.
Absolutely winging it, but he come on and was brilliant, and hopefully it's gone down well.
Yeah, and I was really pleased with how it turned out, and thank you, Josh, for the edits you put on it, and
unreal what he's doing. So
thank you for all the listeners and the feedback we've got. It's been fantastic, and it's blown all our figures before our.
Yeah, of course.
Sorry, Harry out there. Your episode's been overtaken.
I think Matt Jarvis slightly pips my brother. So. Yeah, on to the next one.
But Matt didn't bring any beers, so it was over Zoom.
Yeah, true. Yeah, he's got a 0 out of 5 on both of them. So. Yeah.
But no, hopefully more guests to follow in the future.
Yeah, we'll see.
We might even have one in person down the bunker.
We tried to get Matt down it, but he weren't having it.
No, but should we move on to the weekend's action?
Yeah.
And just to brief you listeners on the pod, we're going to start off a little bit of FA Cup recap. We won't delve too much into the games, but talk about what they might do moving forward. anything's come out of the game and things like that. Then a bit on transfers, January transfers, as it's the 30th of January recording this. Deadline day is tomorrow at 11 o'clock. And then we'll move on to, we've got a nice little segment coming on where we put on Instagram about the fans. We sent a poll out, poll, as you can call it, as it was halfway through the Premier League season, for you to give us your best player, best signing, worst signing, and most disappointing player of your team. So we've got a few different teams that have dropped in here, and me and Jack will also give our opinions on our own teams.
Yes.
And then we'll end off on winner loser, and obviously we've got a teaser to come, which we might as well roll straight into.
Yep.
Now, unless you've got anything to add on that.
No, good. Let's go for it.
And before we say that as well, hopefully, touch wood, the sound's okay.
Yeah.
Because we've both got. We thought Matt Jarvis has come on. Jack obviously tried his mic out last week, and I was so happy with how it went.
Yeah.
I went and bought a new mic as well.
Tate's joined the party as well.
So we are investing to. What's the saying?
I know what you're trying to say, but I don't know.
To reinvest, whatever the saying is. I'm not a entrepreneur.
Yeah, I know what you're trying to say, but I don't know.
Speculate to accumulate. That's the one. I think. No, or is it accumulate? I don't know.
Either way, we've both got new mics, so if the sound's rubbish, we're sorry.
Yeah, mine's still under warranty, so send it back.
Yeah, I think the Amazon driver's outside waiting.
So let's move on to the teaser. So I'm going to butcher his first name, but is it Mikulenko Mudryk? Mikulenko Mudryk became the most expensive January signing made by a Premier League club in Premier League history in January. But which record did he break? So purely, who's the most expensive January transfer that a Premier League team has purchased, not sold?
Okay.
Because it's a different answer.
Okay.
So we'll get back to that at the end of the show. So on to the FA Cup roundup. Shall we start the first game?
Yeah, I think we start on the Friday night.
Friday night
through
football.
The weekend, really.
Man City versus Arsenal. Obviously, Man City won 1-0 thanks to a Nathan Ake goal with his weaker foot into the corner, about the 60th minute, I think it was. Going into the game, I wasn't particularly confident. I thought we'd probably lose. We've lost 7 games on the trot now against City in all comps. Arsenal made 6 changes. Man City made 2. I thought I was just going to steam. Holding versus Haaland. Just thought, I'll probably lose 2-3. I was. But going into the first half and how it played, I actually thought we played the first half pretty well when City came out.
Yeah, I don't think I know your team was different and it is weaker than what would be your best 11 at the minute. But I've got here you don't play any different. As in, you still try and play the same way. You just, like whether playing out from the back or high pressing or through the number 10, whoever it might have been. And yeah, you just have in that game you had worse players trying to do it. And who went off at half time? Was it Partey? Partey went off, and then is it Lokonga?
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
and that doesn't help.
Yeah,
and yeah, I'm not sitting here defending Arsenal, but I'm just saying that they didn't go there with a holding team and then say right, we're just playing 5 at the back and defend for our lives. It was a pretty even game. City weren't unbelievable again, were they? So
I mean, there was 2 things you could take of that. Like I said to my dad when we were watching it, I said 10 minutes to go and we're 1-0 down. I would probably guess Arteta would rather lose 1-0 than draw 1-1.
Yeah.
Because
you don't need a reason.
He's obviously gone into that 6 changes. You make 6 changes at a cup game, you're not that fast. Especially away at Man City, you're not that fast whether you win or lose. So he's clearly got his mind on the league, which is fair enough.
Yeah, and I think
we're never going to have a better opportunity to potentially try and win a league.
And I think the way the league has gone so far, that is Arteta's priority without a doubt, without a shadow of a doubt.
5 points clear for game in hand.
Yeah.
That's what he's rested, and hopefully the Partey injury, apparently it's a rib injury, so it can't be too bad, hopefully. But
punctured a lung or something.
Been there, done that. But Man City, I think that after they scored, it was just a bit of a. I actually compared it to like a Mayweather match in his last few matches where he was just better, just kept you at arm's length, didn't he? Just kept knocking.
Yeah, they didn't need to
Arsenal
do anything else. Arsenal weren't fighting back. Yeah.
He made a few changes.
You had one chance in you and Nketiah sort of.
It's a great tackle from Laporte,
cut
wasn't
it out,
it?
didn't he?
But yeah, apart from that. But would you any advantage for the title race or any psychological thing? Would you say?
If anything, I think probably it's probably a good exercise for Arteta because City played essentially their best team. Right, their goalie wasn't Edison, and who was the other change? Like I don't know. They didn't. They had a basically
Rico Lewis played.
Yeah, and he
looks like he's going to be playing now after
exactly. Cancelo jumped ship. So yeah, the goalie was obviously a big change, but that was City's best team as such. And they don't play any different, and Arsenal went with a weaker side. It's probably, like I said, a good exercise for Arteta to see what City might try and do against Arsenal. And yeah, just see how it goes. And if you won the game, great. You're through. You beat Man City with a weakened team. You lose. It's fine. You've got 2 league games against them that are obviously for Arteta and Arsenal are far more important. So, if anything, it might be a negative on City. But again, I don't think it. You can't really read much into it. I don't think you can. Beforehand, definitely you're thinking, right, we can have a look, see who's this, that, blah blah. But yeah, I think you can't look into it too much.
Because I saw a few things online which are true. I think a 1-0 away loss at Man City, if you want to go out the cup, is the best way to exit.
Yeah.
Is the best way to exit. You go out with your head held high. They didn't get battered.
Yeah, you're playing the best team.
They were in the game
country.
the whole game.
Yeah.
That wasn't really much between 2 teams. And the other thing, they said, well, the defensive side of things, they've played against Haaland now for the first time. They've all played against him. They sort of know what he's, maybe know what he's about. Holding has developed this new aggressive attitude with his new hair.
Oh, he's just a walking booking, and he just wants to fight everyone.
He's never done this before. Like, I remember he had a bit of a scrap with Costa in an FA Cup final once. That was like a one-off, and then he was a bit of a cult hero for that. But ever since that, he's been quite cool, and everyone sort of maybe portrayed him as like a weak sort of player. And I mean, he's not the best player, but
he's probably what, your 4th choice, 5th choice centre back, really?
Fifth now, because we've just signed that. I can't pronounce his name at all. Polish defender. I'll get onto his name later, but he's going to be probably the one that pushes Holding out in the summer.
Even saying that, you have your 2, probably Gabriel, Saliba. Then if Ben White can play centre back, you'd play him. If Tomiyasu can play centre back, you'd probably play him anyway. So without this Polish bloke, you're still looking at 5th choice for Holding.
He
just wanted to fight.
Kielwar, I think his name is.
Is he a youngster or I don't
21? I think 21, 22. He's left-footed, so he'll be Gabriel's backup, and then it will be, like you said, on the right-hand side, it will be Saliba and Ben White, and then Tomiyasu can even play there if need be, and there's plenty of depth there now.
And you played Holding wasn't disgraceful, but you can just tell. And it's harsh. It's similar to a lot of the players that played over the weekend. We get onto Spurs and things like that, but they don't play every week, so Holding's suddenly got an FA Cup game at City against the best striker in the world, arguably. So, but like you said, he just wanted to fight him, didn't he?
Bar the yellow card, he actually did quite a good job. But as soon as he's got the yellow, you're done.
Yeah,
you're done.
Yeah.
Like, he's just like, and then that's why he got hooked off. And I bet it's so frustrating for him and for Arteta, because like you said, they don't play every week, and now he's not going to play unless we get the Europa League games. We're going to play the Europa League games.
Yeah.
And
you're out now in your League Cup as well.
Yeah, which is why I remember I was sitting there on Friday and was just a bit, like, there might be people saying, "Oh, it's good to get out of the cup. You can focus on the league now." But I don't think we're going to win the league anyway, and I don't want us to throw the Europa League as well, because then we just sit there again with no trophies. And Man United look like they're going to win the Carling Cup, whether it's Carabao Cup, or Newcastle for that sentence. And the FA Cup was always Arsenal's competition to go win because it's winnable.
Yeah.
Now you look, Liverpool are out, Chelsea are out, Arsenal are out. The favourites are whatever the draw is today, City, United and Spurs.
Well, we just had a quick look, didn't we? United home draw, City got Bristol away, Spurs have got Wrexham or Sheffield United away.
Yeah, so all 3 of them teams, and then in the quarters, I think it is. Or the round, it's going to be round 5. The next one's the quarters, isn't the round 6 is quarters. So all 3 of them teams are going to be in the quarters. 2 of them will get, unless they play each other, at least 2 of them will probably be in the semis. And then you've got Brighton added in there as well. Newcastle are out. Man United play West Ham, don't they? If West Ham get through tonight, so that's West Ham are going to be out potentially. And I've always really loved the FA Cup, and I get down we get out of it because it's a competition we've always done well in, and it's one to you. I always say, instead of getting top, would you rather top 4 or FA Cup all day of the week? Just because they're your days out and memories. There's your day out in Wembley. That are your lifelong. That you'll tell your kids that your dad will treasure with you two, because that's when you win a trophy, you go out and you do this, and that's the best days you have.
Sadly, although in the moment you think it's the best thing, but you don't remember 4th place, 3rd place, like we got in the Champions League in 2024, like you remember if you won or win the FA Cup, definitely.
My in the last 10 years, my best memories have been watching the FA Cup wins of my dad and my brother against Chelsea twice and against Hull and who else did we beat? Villa. We've won it so many times, can't remember.
Yeah.
No, but that's it's always disappointing.
I'd say on Arsenal, I thought after you lost against Brighton, I was just happy that you lost because you seem to just always win or basically don't lose. So I thought, maybe it'll knock them off their stride a bit, and maybe I say that maybe I could clutch at that straw and say you've lost a game finally. It seems like forever, and maybe you have a little bit of a wobble. But
well, I like that you brought that up because Arsenal now play the first game back after the FA Cup. We got Everton away, 12:30. Goodison, Dyche, your man in.
Dyche, baby.
That's going to sound so good with the new mic. But I said this last week. I know it's probably everyone will roll their eyes and say, "Oh, we get this too." But Arsenal always seem to play teams with brand new managers the first game all the time.
Yeah, and it could be better. Dyche, 5 at the back.
Yeah, just going to be
lump it long. Dwight McNeil sprinting down the wing, crossing into the DCL. Bosh.
I saw he might be the first manager ever, but I saw something online which was just like, this is classic, unbelievable. When he was at Burnley, he lined up a Burnley team 4-4-2, and the numbers were 1 to 11. One obviously goalkeeper. Left was 3 back. Left was 3 back.
3 back. Whoa, the 3 back.
Left was 3. Obviously, right back's 2, and then the strikers are 9 and 10. I think it was. Yeah. Right
classic.
mid was 7. Left mid, it was unbelievable. Typical Dyche.
Get him in. I told you it had to happen. One of those sides at the bottom had to pull the trigger. I thought it should have been Bournemouth because Gary Neal's awful. And Everton done it, and and they were talking about Bielsa. They couldn't get 2 more ends of the spectrum with Bielsa and Dyche, but they've gone with Dyche, and he might not keep him up. But
Dyche keep him up easy.
I mean, I hope so, just
easy
for my sake. But they'll be safe. I think.
I think Dyche keep him up all right. And then obviously Arsenal play Everton and City onto Spurs at. Have City lost every single game they've played at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium?
Yeah, I would say.
So I remember they lost.
So. Champions League they lost 1-0, even though was it 1-0 or 1-0?
1-0. 1-0 was Son.
Yeah.
It was Son scored, and then you beat them with Stephen Bergwijn scored for Mourinho's game. That was 2 seasons ago. Last year you beat them there.
That was Nuno, wasn't it?
Yeah. So you must have played them. I'm pretty sure you played them when you played the semi-final. You played them around that time anyway.
Yeah, hang on. I'm trying to get the record up.
That year you beat them because was that when Aguero missed that penalty?
Yes, it was.
Aguero missed a penalty, and then he went down, and Mike Dean went to give another one.
I'm pretty sure their record at our stadium is either they might have drawn one, but definitely either lost them all. It's not good. But this Sunday, I do hope. I hope for a Haaland hat-trick.
No, you can't. No, you can't.
Yes,
because you'll be cut adrift from it. You won't get if you lose again. You won't get top 4.
We don't need to beat City to get
surely,
top 4.
If you beat City, it's a great result for you, and you'll be close to top 4.
Yes,
that's what you need to do. You need to be positive as a Spurs fan and think about your own club.
Our season's in the bin. It's in the bin.
You've got what's his
Pedro
name?
Porro.
DJ Diawano, who's going to get some goals. Or
No, we'll get on Spurs, but our season's in the bin.
So, we will end on. Or we might as well do it now before we forget. Actually, we said let's bring back predictions.
For this Sunday.
Yeah, we'll do it quickly.
All right, Tottenham City.
Yeah,
I think 3-0 Man City.
I'm gonna go 2-1 Spurs. Coys.
That hurt.
It's gonna be Kane Penny to break the record or equal it.
I think he's gonna break it if he scores again.
Yeah, Kane Penny. And then it will be Mr. Camera, Son. Son's back on form now.
Yeah, he's back. He's back.
He's back. Son's getting another left-footed strike against. He always scores against Edison.
No.
And then it will be like a Haaland 70th minute goal.
Just sprints through.
And then it will be backs against the wall, shaking. All the Spurs fans being like, "Come on, City, score, score!"
No, I think Pep this time sort themselves out. They'll turn up, do a job on us. Yeah. They'll win. Yeah. But as we go back to the FA Cup, as we were talking about Spurs briefly, we beat Preston 3-0 in the end. What it should be really, like quite a comfortable game really. It was just when watching it was just a matter of time before Son one of his efforts went in the goal, and
Mm.
his first goal was brilliant. Second goal was again nice bit of football, good finish, and Dan Zuma, the bagsman, comes on and squirms one in.
Well, we can get on to Dan Zuma. He had a bit of an eventful week, didn't he?
Yeah, we'll leave all that, but yeah, it was just glad like you said earlier, like if you're gonna go out in the cup, you want to lose to City.
Yeah,
but it's fine. If we lose to City, you lose to City. But yeah, we beat Preston.
It's a professional performance. Beat Preston. Now you're into round 5. You've got a non-league team, or you've got Sheffield United away. So,
although I'll just say briefly on our players. Wow, I mean, I think our first 11 is shocking. Let alone some of the players that played the other night. So, Davison Sanchez was our captain in that game against Preston. Our captain. He was he can die tomorrow, but he was the captain of Tottenham Hotspur. That's disgraceful.
That it does sound bad, but Willie Calabero was the captain of Southampton as well.
Yeah, that's fine. He's
like 41.
Yeah, but he's
barely played for him.
He's been there and done it. Davison Sanchez.
That can't be the first time either. Must have captained before.
Who? Sanchez. Oh, yeah.
Sorry, it's probably in a League Cup game somewhere.
Yeah, it's embarrassing. Absolutely. If you watch it as well, wow.
Yeah, but
wow.
Centre half, clean sheet.
Son was on the pitch. Just give it to Son.
Clean
goals,
sheet.
Appearances, time has been in the club. Just give it to Son for that game.
Clean sheet.
No, you can't. No, I'm not having the clean
Son
sheet.
lucky to be playing at that game as well, to be fair. After his disgraceful tackle last week.
God,
nicest man in football.
Yeah, don't leave Sonny alone. Nice South Korean man, just trying to work hard and score bangers.
No, disgraceful. We might as well carry on the. It was nice, like you said, nice 3-0 win onto the next round. Sunday's games: Brighton 2, Liverpool 1. What is going on?
Yeah,
in the red side of Liverpool.
It's they're just like we talk about Spurs and say how bad we are, blah blah. But yeah, Liverpool's situation this year, and a lot of people saw it coming. Really, not saw it coming, but said in the summer they didn't invest at all. And our conversation is sort of about the FA Cup, but it also links quite well into the transfer chat of January. But yeah, in the summer they just didn't bring anyone in. Did they? Lost Mane. They're one of their most influential players over the last few years. And yeah, I don't know. Are they just burnt out? Are they tired of Klopp's way of playing? I don't know. Maybe it's an all. There's a concoction of things. Maybe I don't know.
There's a few things I've seen a few people say Klopp's 7th year syndrome, whatever it's called. You know, they say they could burn out and things like that.
I don't necessarily believe in that.
No, neither do I, because I think if they lose him, who the hell are they going to get?
Why'd they sack Klopp?
They wouldn't know.
They sack Klopp?
Last season, they played every single game possible they could play. Both cup finals went to penalties and everything. They played literally every minute they could possibly play, whatever. We're now January 30th. Liverpool are 9th out of all domestic cup competitions as the holders as well. And got Real Madrid in the round of 16 in the Champions League.
Come around the corner. And like we're saying, it's not Liverpool of like last few seasons where they're fighting for the title. They are 9th, mid-table, and they've got to play Real Madrid, so... Yeah.
Would you? I've put it as a note just to bring it up. I think we just touched on it there, but I've got Klopp ? Time to talk or just no?
Definitely Klopp is he's fully invested within Liverpool, and there's no if they got that'd just be ridiculous. It'd be ridiculous.
Like I said at the beginning of even when we started this, it was the midfield is too slow. That seems to be the issue. Thiago is a fantastic player, but is he ill suited to Liverpool? And talking of ill suited. The two big signings they've made is Nunes and Gakpo. Gakpo obviously is young. He's played 5-6 games. Doesn't look like he's fitting in yet. Or I'll give him the benefit of doubt. Nunes, I don't really know what to say.
Yeah,
he's
a
maverick who's just. Yeah. Is he a bit like a Balotelli? Like,
and
he could do something
totally different to what Liverpool in Klopp's time have ever had, and like similar to Gakpo and everyone else that comes in, they have to adapt. So you have to adapt anyway, and then suddenly Nunes is. Like we always say, a chaos factor as it is alone. So, yeah, it's a really hard mix to probably control and get suited to Liverpool. And yeah, that loan of Artur, the guy from was it Juve? I think he's in Champions League. He made one sub appearance this season for like 10-15 minutes. Hasn't played one Premier League game, one Premier League minute. And yeah, probably one of the worst transfers there has been. So, and it just comes down to the recruitment and I think there's other stuff. Obviously, I'm not that educated on Liverpool and their situation and with owners and players and whatever managers' thoughts and things like that. But yeah, they've won one win in the last 6 in all comps. One win. It's terrible.
I mean, I know they lost to Brighton
2
weeks ago. Was it 3-1? 3-0?
Yeah, 2 weeks ago.
3-0, wasn't it?
Mm.
To lose again, like obviously they took the lead with Elliott, and then they were unfortunate, to be fair, with the equaliser. They came up with a deflection of Dunk, and then Mitoma scored a worldie in the last minute, absolute class goal.
He's on fire, isn't he?
But Liverpool, how they kept 11 men on the pitch the whole game. Like Konate could have easily been booked for that second yellow and taken out. And Fabinho's challenge, my God. His face was like...
Yeah, that's so true, actually.
Oh, what have I just done? He's like... Oh,
and he gives it the old hands like, oh, no, I'm sorry. Like, obviously trying his absolute best because he knows surely that's at least a red card.
But it's a horrific challenge.
And I saw it, like someone said, but... Okay, how's the ref not seen it anyway? But then how's VR just nothing's happened, just not even overturned it on... Yeah.
The back of his kid, the ball is like 2 metres away.
Shocking tackle, yeah.
Yeah, he hasn't meant it, but still it's horrific.
It's just a red card. You don't... Yeah, tackles happen and you don't ever mean them, but that is a red card. It's awful. Awful tackle.
But justice was done, and Mitoma, who they probably signed for like 5 mil in the summer, they're going to sell him for like 100 mil.
Yeah, ridiculous.
He's been the next one on the conveyor belt. I saw how they described Brighton as the sugar babes, where they just get a new member in and they keep getting number ones all the time.
Yeah,
just keep on the conveyor belt. Next one comes in.
Well, Caicedo, for example, they want excess probably 70 million for someone that's played half a season.
26 Premier League games he's played. But we'll get on to transfers and what we think about that. But the little stat quickly: the FA Cup holders have been eliminated in the 4th round of each of the last 3 seasons. Arsenal in 2021, and then Leicester, and now Liverpool. Yeah. So no one's retaining again this year.
I think, like you said, it is an opportunity. Like you say about Arsenal, you think, every year, come on, we can have a go at this. And I think, this year, Liverpool, like I said, the holders are out, Arsenal are now out. Yes, City are still in, but I think a team like Tottenham, no matter what we think about them, and it's a good opportunity. If the draw keeps working in your favour, I don't see why you can't go deep and then go from there.
That's what Liverpool did last year, though, because everyone takes the piss out of them because City win literally all the domestic competitions and they win them every single year. They win 2 or 3 trophies a year. So Liverpool thought last year, Liverpool's golden generation, let's not get taken piss out, is one Premier League and 1 Champions League. And then last year they focused on the cups and they won both cups. The first time they've won the FA Cup since 2005, I think. And the first time they won the Carling Cup since maybe 2012 under Doug Leash, I think they won it. So they actually, they won 2 more trophies. That generation have now won everything. Everything you can win. Yeah, they won it as a group. Salah, the Manes, the Van Dijks, the Klopp. He's now won everything you could win in English football, which was like their sort of tick box. Yeah. But obviously, like we said, this year has just been disastrous, really.
It's been... I don't know. It's I suppose talk about it in a bit, like we keep saying, but it's just been all over the show, and there must be more than just what we see on the pitch. There must be all sorts happening.
And their next home game is against...
Go on.
Sean Dyche.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, of course.
So they got Arsenal, and then they got Liverpool away.
Oh, he could be a hero in 2 weeks.
So Moyes never ever won once at Anfield.
Everton's record at Anfield is awful.
They've won once in my lifetime, I think, and that was in lockdown with no fans when Ancelotti won there.
I think they've drawn a couple times here and there. Awful. What was Jaggett when he scored that worldie?
That was a draw, 1-1 against Mignolet.
Yeah. No,
I think I've seen. I can picture a few Cahill headers there and punching the corner flag in the corner.
This year, if they had to do it, that would be sick.
Big Dyche.
That would be sick. Big Dyche running down. Dyche, baby.
And moving on from the Premier League down to the non-league and Hollywood Wrexham.
Yeah, one of the 2 sides that Spurs drew in the next round.
Yeah, so Wrexham 3, Sheffield United 3. Probably, to be honest, I didn't watch much of the FA Cup this weekend. I watched the Arsenal game, I watched a bit of the Brighton game, and then I actually watched the whole of this game, to be fair.
Yeah, it was good. Proper game, wasn't it?
McBurney opening the goal scoring after 2 minutes. And then James Jones, in the second half, James Jones and Thomas O'Connor made it 2-1 to Wrexham. Oliver Norwood then equalised 4 minutes later. And then Daniel Jebson got a red card. See the red card? It was kick out, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a bit of nothing, but just an unneeded, unnecessary red card.
Did you notice something about the red card as well? Bit of a throwback?
Was it Circle?
Circle, yeah.
Yeah.
Circle Red.
Yeah.
Bring
I
them
did
back.
think that was-
Bring them back.
Uh,
Bring them back. Because I thought, I haven't seen one of them for ages. And in my head, I could picture Roy Keane getting sent off against Uri Rennie. And I was like, I remember the blue kit was one of the, when the Premier League was on, the Premiership was on ITV.
Yeah.
And I remember
Yeah.
it was Robbie Earle, I think, with Des Lyman just slating him. That's the last time I watched one on the Prem.
What, the Premiership?
The Premiership on ITV, Des Lyman and...
Really?
Yeah. It's
Bring
a
'em back.
beautiful day.
There's a lot of singing going on.
He's trying out the new mics. Can't help it.
Yeah, they say they're suited for singing. So.
Well, after all this, we might have spoke for half an hour and no one can hear a thing.
Yeah, it could be awful. I don't know.
And then after the red card, Paul Mullin scored a lovely little goal. It was a double nutmeg. But
Was
heartbreak.
86th minute, wasn't it?
Yeah. And
3-2 up. I thought they'd done it. That was it.
because I text you the title. I was like, this is going to be the title of Wrexham. And then they just didn't win. And we're like, oh,
Yeah.
better change this now.
Yeah. Ryan Reynolds offers nothing now.
And John Egan equalised 90 plus 5. A little
Yeah. Yeah. Against non-league Wrexham.
Yeah. But yeah, it was a great cup game. And I saw a tweet from Goldbridge saying he feels nothing for Wrexham. They're just got rich owners, and he goes, I don't feel anything for them. What have they got? To basically,
we'll get onto that. Wow,
ripping them about, basically saying, yeah, well, they should be winning because they got a load of money.
Wow.
So I think he says he feels empty watching them, something like that.
Let's not mention Man United yet, then.
But yeah,
and
great
but
cup
imagine
game.
Neville backed him up on that as well. Gary,
Oh.
but his mate Gary backed him up.
Oh, Neville, Gary.
Bloody Salford.
Although I was listening to the Goldbridge and Foster podcast earlier, and my God, that team of the year was biased.
I don't want to.
11 players, and I think like 6 of them were United.
Unreal. But on Wrexham, yeah, like we said, most people know now, but yeah, backed by Ryan Reynolds and Rob McKellen.
I've got it written down here, but I
Yeah,
wouldn't know how
I'm
to pronounce it.
Well, I absolutely butchered it, but yeah, obviously Hollywood factors, as you say.
Did you know Ryan Reynolds was married to Scarlett Johansson? Completely off topic.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
I
do
Wikipedia'd
now.
him today, and I was like, oh, I didn't realise he was married to her, and then divorced as well.
Oh.
So.
But yeah, they've done they've done the Amazon documentary on Wrexham. Lots of eyes and attention has switched to Wrexham, and on the pitch they're doing well. But they're doing similar to what Salford have tried to do or have done and got to the Football League. They've obviously got more money than most teams in that situation. They're top of the conference. I think level points or 2 points with Notts County. I think it was second, but I think they've only lost twice in the league. Yeah, they've got a good manager. Phil Parkinson's in charge. He's like an experienced Football League manager. Won playoffs at League 1, League 2, and got to playoff final. So he knows what's going on. And yeah, they've brought in some better quality players. They bought players from League 2 and loaned in
Elliot Lee,
players.
for example, they've brought in. He's played at West Ham. He's played all his career in the Football League at Charlton as well.
Yeah. And obviously
Luton.
they want to get to the Football League as soon as possible. And this year looks like they're going to do it. But yeah, it's it's obviously a cool, exciting thing to look at with Ryan Reynolds there and yeah, Wrexham.
They're doing it.
Well.
They're doing it well. Like they've bought the stadium back, I believe. They're rebuilding the Cop end. It's called, I think, because that empty stand behind. Yeah. And apparently they've got the community all together. Yeah. Nice little feature. They've got themselves on FIFA. Like little things like that. It's cool. It's all about brand, isn't it? And Ryan Reynolds, they can build him in America. Yeah. I mean, I don't know the backstory why they've bought Wrexham.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard something, and
I haven't watched the documentary, to be honest.
No, I haven't seen the documentary, but so I was thinking that the other day, but then suddenly it came on the radio and they was talking about it. Basically, someone that knew Ryan Reynolds and this other guy Ryan Reynolds wanted to invest in a club, and he knew someone and they gave him some limited knowledge about football and stuff, and for some reason they've gone with Wrexham, but who knows? And that Rob McElhenney or whatever has joined the party as well, but yeah, I mean they could be in the Football League very soon. Yeah.
I think that was the only other thing I was going to mention about the FA Cup was a little shout out to, I can't remember his name now, I should have wrote it down, the Sunderland youngster, the 15-year-old.
Yeah, Rig. Rigg.
Yeah, I was going to Rigg. Yeah, heartbreaking.
Scott Rigg. Oh no,
Something like it might have been it.
Something
Heartbreaking to
15 years old.
Yeah, and he scored, didn't he? And he got us offside.
He was basically like a mini Lee Catmull. Like he came on with his shirt tucked in, like jogged on.
He reminded me of myself when I played men's football because he's just wearing a man's shirt so big for him.
Yeah, I did think
because I had to tuck my shirt in because it was just otherwise I'd look like I'm wearing no shorts.
Yeah. He come on at 15 as well. That's ridiculous. Yeah. I think we said it before, but someone else was 15. They made the debut.
Ethan Wanyama for Arsenal player.
I thought again. I'll say it again, but I thought you had to be 16. I just assumed it was like a limit, but obviously not. Yeah, he's come on and scored last minute, but
he came on the third round as well.
Yeah, correctly called offside. He wasn't, but someone else offside, miles offside.
Diallo, I think it might have been.
Yeah, that would have been a brilliant result.
That was a good little game, that actually, 1-1.
A lot of action in that.
Yeah. Well, that was what we can talk about, wasn't we? Goal of the week.
Yes.
So there were some absolute crackers in the fourth round. So it's a shame. This should be the perfect time to get some copyright and whack it all on YouTube. But Tom Kearney's goal for Fulham in that game we're just talking about. Cross came in, he shimmied once, shimmied again, and then went again, and then smashed it in.
Yeah, it was nice bit of skill.
I've wrote down here Jordan Clark from Luton. The cross came in, he chested and that sort of volleyed it. And
the goalie was like a weak save, but the skill, like the chest and the volley was very good. Yeah, good goal.
Then obviously you mentioned Jack Harrison and Perraud's goal for Southampton.
Yeah, Roman Perraud, Southampton free kick, very nice. Even his second goal was quite a good strike, but Harrison's strike. Wow, it was made it 1-0. Come out on sort of 1.5 volley, just hit it and it stayed hitting just about off the ground, zoomed into the corner. What a hit! That was a very good goal.
Son's obviously left foot strike out of the box against Preston. Casemiro's second goal.
Yeah, it was quite
and his first goal was quite a nice finish, to be fair. Was his second goal deflected? I've only seen it once.
I don't think it was. It was just, I don't think the goalie read it or, wasn't ready for it or something. But, another good goal.
And then Mitoma's from Brighton was a lovely finish. And if I'm going to vote on it myself, I'm going to go for Mitoma.
Fair enough.
Who would you pick on that?
I'll go with Jack Harrison. Not Son. Although he's back. I'll go Jack Harrison at Accrington for Leeds. Lovely strike with left foot.
I think that's good. Have you got anything else to add on the FA Cup?
No, just on the other results. We sort of covered them briefly, but a lot of draws. When Leicester won 1-0, Fulham drew 1-1. So replay. Ipswich 0-0 with Burnley. Luton Grimsby was a good game. Mention that game later on, but a few draws. It wasn't, and then other than obviously Arsenal going out. Arsenal going out, Liverpool going out. It wasn't real. Although City beating Arsenal, not upset, but big sides. There was no real big exits.
Ipswich drew to Burnley. I don't know if you mentioned that. That was about.
I think Blackburn drew with Birmingham, but it was. I don't know. It just wasn't. I don't think it was that exciting for me.
The draws haven't been great, have they? So there's
no. But that was FA Cup really, and I think we'll have a little pause and we'll move on to a bit of transfer talk and the rest of the pod.
Right, FA Cup done. Now on to January transfers, and actually, for the first time in a little while, I think this has been a really lively January transfer window. Because there were a few years back where it was just boring. It was just loans and free transfers, and I remember a year. Actually, you'll probably remember it well when. Then the highlight was Spurs signed Ryan Nelson and Zaha, they're free.
Exactly. Dodgy deal, but
it
became. I think ever since they made a thing about Jim White doing deadline day throughout the summer and January. Obviously, Jim White's no longer part of it, but since that moment, now it's like a massive thing and transfer window, deadline day, all this. It's become a non-event. But like you said, this month, and we'll get into it. But it's been. A lot of money's been spent. And
just as you brought up there, I just had a thing. Obviously, we're talking it from a fan's point of view and looking into it and things like that. But obviously, if you listened to the pod last week, Matt Jarvis did give us a really cool insight on what deadline day is like. And he's sitting there at home, not knowing anything.
Yeah.
And then within an hour, he plays for Norwich.
Yeah. And he's on the way to Norwich from wherever he is. So it's true. And
so there'll be players sitting there tonight, training in the morning, and then going, "Oh crap, I've got a club to go to."
And I mean. I don't want to harp on about Spurs, but it's happening now. Like Brian Gill's going back to Seville. Why is he going back to Seville?
I've got a note on Brian Gill.
Brian Gill is... So, on that, quickly. So, we gave them Lamella and £25 million for Brian Gill. And now we're giving him back on loan. Probably, he's going to go back to Spain. He's going to be happy at home. He's going to be all comfortable, playing for a club he likes and knows.
Playing with Lamella.
Yeah, why? And then, so why is he going to come back to Tottenham? Yeah, ridiculous.
Is Brian Gill Spanish?
Possibly.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, he's Spanish, yeah.
You know, I actually got a note on that.
Yeah.
Gill joined Seville, and you did sign him as a swap with Lamella.
Ridiculous. I mean, there's loads of stuff going on.
Listener of the show, Dan Bury, did send me this and was like, how is Jack not Levy out because of this?
No, but it's actually we are, and I think I said last week again, but like some clubs are just setting. We are Spurs, so we'll forever beat Tottenham and Pedro Porro.
I was just about to bring him up.
Another prime example, like just pay £45 million for him. Don't pay 43.5 and then we'll only give you this, and if you do this, you do that. How can that Fabrizio Romano, the bloke that is the god and knows everything, and tweet, here we go, Porro to Spurs, and now we're possibly not going to get him? It's ridiculous.
Well, I'll tell you why they don't want to get... This is why I'll back Levy and whoever's doing the transfers at Spurs, is that 12 months ago, Conte wielded the power and he could put his... excuse my French. He could put his dick on the table and be like, pay the money, this is the player I want.
I didn't expect that. Oh, if you had a camera in here.
Now, he doesn't wield that power anymore because he's going at the end of the season.
Yeah.
And please correct me if I'm wrong, but under his leadership, stewardship or whatever,
that's the word, stewardship.
He has now bought Emerson Royale, Jed Spence. Well, Emerson Royale was like 25 mil, wasn't he? Jed Spence was 20 mil. £50 million already. They've got Doherty, who must have been like 10 million.
I think, yeah.
Have they got another? They've got he's got 3 right wing backs who he's fallen out with or not playing them. I know they're all crap. Yeah. Like I get that, but
I think they came in before him.
But he signed Royale as well, though.
Maybe Royale. Oh, don't know. I think they came in the summer with Nuno, possibly.
I don't know, but he's got these players here. Maybe.
Doherty was Nuno because we thought the Wolves connection would reignite, but.
Is Pedro? I don't know him. Is he a right back or is he a right wing back?
And that's the other thing.
If he's a right wing back, there's a reason they don't want to pay the money because he's going to go and Poch is going to go back to back 4, and is he going to want to play him? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Porro, we've seen him twice this year when we played him. I know nothing about him. No one, all these Tottenham fans, he's the arse. No one knows who he is. Like no one watches sport in Lisbon. I'm sorry, nobody.
He played twice against you, didn't he?
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Everyone has seen him twice this season. Thought nothing about him, like whatever, it is what it is. But in saying that, if the club is interested in him and they think he's the man, just go and get him. Just go and pay the money. He literally played the weekend against Porto in the cup final, waved goodbye to the fans. Fans gave signs out and were like doing a big old farewell. And he's coming to Spurs. And we'll wake up this morning. Oh, actually, I think the deal's gone through, broken down. But yeah, it's classic.
Well, if you want to sign a right back, you can hijack Fulham's bid for
Cedric.
Yeah,
yeah, we're just a collection of really bad right backs.
But as Jack mentioned off air, if we're talking transfers, there's only one club we can really delve into, and it's old. Is it Todd or Ted? I never heard.
Todd Bowley, the barbaric. I don't know what you call it, but spending
Chelsea barrister.
It's just and. They sing, we want our Chelsea back, we want our Chelsea back. You've got your Chelsea back in a big fat American called Todd Bowley. He spent, as of last night, it was $500 million, so nearly 500 million. Now, if this, Tate's looking at me, but yeah, go on, take it away.
So, as of last night, just this month, Chelsea has spent £216 million, which is the most of any Premier League club has spent in the last 5 January transfer windows. On top of this, as we're speaking now, it's coming up on Sky Sports News that they've agreed a fee for over 100 million for Enzo Fernandez, like 128 million, something like that.
Yeah,
which is over the release clause because they don't want to pay the release clause in one, so they're paying more than the release clause to pay it over a few years. And then I'm hearing they're going to give him I sound like buddy Fabrizio there. My source.
Here we go.
I'm hearing it. He's getting a
I'm hearing it. Hand to ear.
Got David Ornstein in one ear. Griff will know what I'm talking about.
He's the one that broke the news that Porro was.
He's the Arsenal bloke.
Oh, that's probably why then.
They call him Horny.
Well, he choked then.
No, because because you know what, you know when Arsenal fans or historically on Twitter are like the Arsenal in all the polls and whatever. And when he breaks some news about Arsenal, good news, if you click on the replies, you'll be crying. It's just like...
I don't want to look.
It's just like, Orny! And his head's put on all these great things. It is really quite funny. I forgot what I was saying now.
The release clause of... No. Chelsea's basically buying Fernandes.
Fernandes, £128 million. Yeah, that's what... I'm hearing they're going to give him... I can't get straight face now. They're going to give him a 9.5-year contract.
Oh, my...
And they're also trying to get 45 million for Gallagher, which there's some way they can offset that, and that basically pays for all the wages off. I don't know. There's obviously Chelsea have obviously got these lawyers that are muddling around with financial fair play to them. Get away, do what you can do, get away with it.
Yeah,
they're going to get away with it. But he's apparently turned down and moved to Everton and maybe wants Newcastle, but also wants to fight for Chelsea.
I think the money, not the money, because Chelsea have spent a ridiculous amount and 100-odd million for Fernandes, but the money is just blown out of proportion at the minute. Leeds broke their transfer record for, I don't know his name, Rotter or something.
I've got it here, yeah. Keep talking, I'll find it, yeah.
And he's like a 20-year-old from, is it the Dutch league possibly?
No, it's Leverkusen, I think. No, here it is. Giorgino Rutter from Hoffenheim. Yeah, 28 million euros it was.
Yeah, exactly. And I think they've broke their transfer record. And as of today, I think they're getting Weston McKennie.
I think that's a good signing for them.
Yeah. He can't be a bad player, can he? Juve, good player, always playing another American. So
on loan with an option to buy for 35 million. But like you just mentioned, the money. I do think now we've got to this point where clubs have now got stronger and they don't get bullied as much anymore. No. So for some examples I'm going to give you is Mudryk, obviously Chelsea and Arsenal were after him. Chelsea ended up signing him from 100-odd million. Bloke's played like 25 games in the 8th division in the world. It's Shakhtar Donetsk.
Yeah.
In Ukraine, he played 6 Champions League games. Casado,
exactly,
from Arsenal, 60 million, and they came back and said they were insulted. 60 million pound for someone who's played 26 Premier League games, and then came back with 70 million, and they said, "No, you're insulting us."
But it's like the Mitoma. I'm not saying he's a very good player, but if someone wanted that Mitoma now, maybe it'd be unrealistic to get now, but they'd want probably something stupid like 40, 50 million for someone that...
I'd say 60 again, probably.
Yeah, he was playing university football like a year and a half ago in Japan, wherever he was. So.
Enzo Fernandez was signed from a team in Argentina. Might have been, I don't remember what it was. For £10 million in the summer.
Yeah.
That's £100 million profit in 6 months.
Yeah, and like I said, Lee's making that record transfer deal just doesn't... Not it doesn't make sense, but... The money in the Premier League must be astronomical. I've got here in 2022, the Premier League spent just on buying players. They spent £1.78 billion in January of 2022 and the summer of 2022. The closest to them was Italian clubs spent around £540 million. So the money and all that in the Premier League just must be ridiculous, absolutely unheard of.
Well, let's run through the top transfers this January so far. You got Mudryk obviously at the top. I've only got it in euros, unfortunately, but he's at the top. And then you've got Cody Gakpo from Liverpool, bought him from PSV. Chelsea bought, is it Benoit Bachildi from Monaco, the centre half. Then Noni Madueke, I think his name is Madueke, from PSV to Chelsea. Interesting. So I've got a bit of backstory on him, actually. He was, because my friend Raul, and I've got a few friends who are PSV fans, PSV signed him from Spurs when he was 15, I think. 15, got released.
English, isn't he?
Yeah. And signed him they got him for free, and he played at PSV. They've nurtured him all this time. And he played the last 3 years. He's been getting progressively better, and you see that it sounds silly, but it's sounding in his shirt numbers. I think it was numbers like 35, and then he went to 20, and he was number 10 this year. And then obviously he's been sold for 25, 26 mil in the summer. He's got his move back to London. He's a London boy. Great for him. Well done. Another Chelsea player, Marlo Gustu, the right back from Olympique Lyon, who they've then loaned back straight away. And in that top 5 transfers, 4 of them are Chelsea.
Yeah.
And then Jorginho Rutter from Hoffenheim. Arsenal then have signed Jakub Kaiwa from Spezia Calcio. Sounds like a fake name, the fake PES team.
Yeah, they've like regen.
For about 22 mil, and then they've also signed Trossard from Brighton for that. And then some notable ones down here that Villa have signed Jan Duran, I think it is, from MLS team Chicago, who's 19 for £60 million. Apparently he's going to replace Ings.
Yeah, Newcastle started to flex their muscles slightly, haven't they? Gordon, possibly Maddison. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think Maddison.
I don't think it's going to happen. Maybe the summer.
Gordon,
what? 40 million for Gordon?
So it's guaranteed. It's 40 up front, 5 add-ons. To put that in perspective, Martin Odegaard cost £35 million last summer. It's mad, isn't it? Like Anthony, I know they rejected 60 million. I think did they reject 60 million for Anthony Gordon in the summer? Or was it?
I think it might have been at least 50, but like Tottenham were part of that, so we could have had
Gordon.
Yeah.
And while we're on this, I was chatting to Joe, who's Grace's brother-in-law, over the weekend, who's a mad Evertonian, and he's like, I don't know how you can be, what's he, 21, 22? How can you turn your back on your club? He's a boyhood Evertonian. How can you turn your back and not turn up for training in 3 days? Who's advising that kid?
No. Yeah.
He's driving around in his Lamborghini, which is, I think it's AG10 boy. It's like, I don't know. He's got a haircut that looks like Buddy, what's her name? Who's the BBC presenter?
What, Question of Sport?
No, not Sue Barker, the other one. I can hear Reece screaming at me, his name.
Either way, he's got a mop head, hasn't he? So, yeah, he's obviously not a bad player, but he just isn't that good. And Evans sold everyone a dream with Richarlison. So.
Yeah. Stay Richie, lad.
Yeah. That will come into the topic very shortly. But, yeah, then Spurs brought in Dan Juma on loan. Probably the strangest sort of bit of business.
Yeah, he signed for Everton, didn't he, basically?
Texting all his new Everton players, probably buzzing that he's going to work under Dyche, and then actually, no thanks, I'll go play for Spurs.
As we mentioned before, Danny Ings signed for West Ham.
Yeah.
I just Mario Lemina is signed for Wolves. Didn't realise that. He's been around Southampton, a few clubs.
And I think it's not a big, great, massive thing, but Bednarak has gone back to Southampton.
Yes,
from
I saw that.
Villa. And Southampton, not that he's a brilliant player, but maybe Nathan Jones needs a bit of experience, and he might be the man.
Ballon Dawson has signed for Wolves. Obviously, we mentioned that. Anthony Semenyo has signed for Bournemouth from Bristol City.
Yes.
They're just preparing for next year already, aren't they?
They've bought, and those sort of clubs, they're going to buy these random players from lower leagues and sort of across the world, like not top tier top tier leagues, but yeah, it's just like I think you said, they're ready. They're ready for the drop.
I feel sorry for obviously PSV have sold Gakpo and Mediuku, whatever his name is, and replaced him with Fabio Silva on loan from Wolves.
He's just going to be chucked around Europe.
I think he's got one Premier League goal, hasn't he? Like ever.
He's just going to be thrown around Europe, like Brian Gill.
Yeah, and who's the other one who used to play for you? The plays at Fulham now. Vinicius. I mean, I think about players and how they've made a career, and you think like, I don't know, this is rogue, but like a Robbie Savage or a Joey Barton, they just go around lumping people. But on the other side, you've got players like Vinicius, and like we just said, all those Brian Gill, they just get thrown about, and they'll constantly be a professional footballer, but for what reason, God knows. Jan and Villa, used to go to
just
every club.
Random players that just always got a contract somewhere, like at good European levels. Mental.
They play at every single club possible. What other rumours I've got on here? So we've touched on Gordon, Caicedo, Pedro, McKennie, João Cancelo.
Yeah,
so
that's a I think that's what's caused the Pedro Porro meltdown. But yeah, Cancelo, like,
So he hasn't been
What's
playing since the
happened?
World Cup, has he? Basically, and the reports say today that he was told he wasn't going to play against Arsenal and had the right hump. Fell out of had an argument with Pep, and he said,
right,
"See you later."
yeah, that is mental, isn't it?
So it's a loan with an option to buy of £78 million to Bayern, which is not bad.
Yeah, but then that's another like.
How do you just loan out a defender like that? Just
Yeah, but Cancelo, obviously a brilliant fullback, but 70 million pounds, 75, whatever it is, 60, whatever it might be, if they want to buy him, it's just ridiculous. But yeah, Cancelo, like that was an FPL dream, wasn't it? Everyone loved him. He scored, assist, and yeah, a very good player. And if you're going to pick Man City's best team, he's going to be in it. And I think it's probably bad for the rest of the league that Cancelo's gone to Bayern Munich, to be honest. Gone in Arsenal's favour, but...
Well, you say that, but the best left-back performance I've seen all season against Arsenal was Nathan Ake, who Saka didn't look at the races, to be fair, from minute one. But Ake was absolutely superb against him. Didn't let him have a sniff and obviously scored the winner. I mean, I've slagged off Ake a couple of times on this podcast, but fair play to the bloke. He played fantastic. Then maybe he's going to be their new left-back.
Possibly, yeah. And they obviously, like we said, they like Rico Lewis, and he plays a lot, and he's young and probably like a sponge and soaks up all.
Yeah, he
Pep's
turns into that inverted fullback, and then Ake shuffles across, and they have to throw it the back there. But
yeah, Cancelo to Bayern's very odd. Very odd.
There was a couple of loans. So Marquinhos from Arsenal going to go to Norwich on loan. I think that's a smart little move for both. Now we've got Trossard. He's going to see his game play limited, and he's been quite good in the Europa League, to be fair. Couple of good games. I think he scored maybe once or twice. I saw this is proper paper talk though, but Maguire to Inter on loan.
Oh, what is that?
Get the bin. One that has been floating around a little bit has been Jack Harrison to Leicester.
I saw that the other day. I didn't.
But apparently he's not too keen on that move.
He really wants to stay at Leeds, doesn't he? But I think he's just not really been playing in the league. He played obviously in the couple of weekend, but I don't think he's been involved.
And my final one I've got here, a strange one, is Keylor Navas, PSG to Notts Forest.
Really?
Yeah.
Talking about Notts Forest, I think they got in Chris Wood, didn't they?
Yes, yeah.
The mighty Chris Wood. Yeah, he's moving on.
He got a 6-month loan with an obligation to buy, and he
should have gone to Everton. Reunited. Dyche, Tarkowski, McNeil on the wing.
Yeah.
Whacking it into Wood. Oh, can't wait.
Everton have got a busy day tomorrow. Well, it's going to be that's what I'm actually looking. As I mentioned before we started. I'm looking forward to deadline day probably since the first time since they've made it a thing.
Yeah,
because it used to ruin it, but now it's like a lot's got to happen. Arsenal have got to sign a midfielder, and while we're on it, before we start the pod, Jorginho linked with Arsenal. I mean, we were linked with him literally the summer before he turned into the best player in the world. Yeah, apparently.
Yeah, according to Reece.
He won that. He won that UEFA thing, didn't he? UEFA foot, whatever it's called.
Calm down, Reece. Sit back down.
Jorginho for me, no. He's going to be covered for Partey, but I do not want to sign any more Chelsea players. No, thank you.
Like Tottenham managers don't need any
more.
We've
been down that, and Arsenal and Chelsea should be banned from doing business. Ever since I think the Aubameyang one, surely is the one that broke the. I know we didn't say him directly, but come on, this has to stop now. Yeah. Look at Willian now; looks like a 25-year-old playing at what do you call it? Playing at Fulham.
We said it before though, didn't it, about Jorginho? Like you, obviously interested in Caicedo, just to then jump towards Jorginho is very different. And yes, Caicedo is probably not going to happen this month, so they want to bring in something, and Jorginho's a viable option maybe. But yeah, I think it's just a bit of a random old choice, I'd say. Two different players. You've
got on one aspect, he's experienced head there. He's a ball player. He's more in. Well, he's going to be playing that deep lying 6, but he's not.
Partey does that, but I feel like he's got a lot more to him than just a deep line ball player.
He has. Partey's been fantastic this season, and when he plays, we normally don't lose, and when he doesn't play, we normally lose. I don't think it's no coincidence that the one game we've lost this season against United, he wasn't playing. And then the other game we lost, we didn't play he didn't play against Brighton, and he didn't play against the second half. He didn't play against them. But I don't know, Jorginho. he's better than no one because he's better than Sam Lokonga.
Yeah. You saw
At the
that.
moment, like Lokonga has got no confidence. He needs to go out and he needs to go to someone like Brighton and play. He needs to play. The kid doesn't play, and he hasn't been good enough really this season. So, and it is what it is. I think that's pretty much all I've got on the transfer front.
Yeah, and we sort of mentioned it earlier with clubs in the cup about Liverpool and things, but I think for Liverpool in particular, the damage was already done. I think in the summer now in January it's too late to try and claw it back. I think.
Yeah, it's too late, and I think they're just sort of gonna write it off and be like, "We'll go on to next season." Yeah.
Refresh in the summer.
Should we get on to the mid-season review?
Yeah, is that the one about the players and?
Yeah,
good. Let's do it.
Yeah. So last week we posted out on our Instagram story for you to reply back with your own club's best player, worst player, best signing, worst signing, and most disappointing.
Just for the season.
For the season so far, yeah. So from August to today.
Yeah.
And we got a few responses back. We got from Andy Houghton, West Ham fan, Callum Doyle, Southampton fan, James Griff, Arsenal fan, Dan Bury, Spurs fan, and James Hyde, Chelsea fan.
Loose Chelsea fan. You were Man United when we were growing up, mate.
Saw the money.
Yeah.
Saw the money and changed. But while I'll read out some of these, you have a think about your ones.
Yeah, why don't we leave? This is just a thought. We'll leave Dan's, obviously Tottenham fan, with mine, then we'll leave Griff's similar to obviously leave it to your. See what you think. But go through the others and we'll get to it.
So we can talk about West Ham as well we'll go through. West Ham best player. I think it's a very obvious one. There's only one name. Jack's face. He rolled his eyes, looked to the sky. Is there? No, it's got to be Arsenal's new midfielder, Declan Rice. Actually,
I don't know. I'm actually interested to know what he said.
Declan Rice.
As he said, Declan Rice. Yeah. But I think a lot of West Ham would disagree. I know he is their best player.
No, but he has been their best this year. Who's been better?
I don't know. I just don't think they've been good at all. I don't know.
No, they haven't. But he's been their best. It's a low bar. But
what about Scamacca?
Surprisingly, he's not on this list.
Oh.
Which I thought he would be.
Yeah, maybe Rice. I don't know. There'd be a few.
Worst player then, Jack. Come on.
Where do we start? Not I would say Rice, but the level you expect from Rice, I don't think he's been the same player. Obviously for a lot of reasons, but maybe not Rice. That's probably been a bit harsh. Worst player. Who's Andy? Andy said
Souček.
Yeah, Souček definitely.
I'd put Scamacca up there, but he has been injured, so we'll let him off.
Kufau or Sufau, he's got to be up there. He's been awful. Yeah, Souček's probably the one. Because again, he was up to a level and they really liked him. They were expecting he's one of the players that expect to be performing, and probably Souček's good answer.
Best signing.
Scamacca?
Paqueta.
I don't think he's been that good, has he?
Well, he's been better than.
I've heard lots of moaning and groaning.
He's been better than Kehia.
Yeah.
He's been better than Scamacca.
He's played more, hasn't he? I suppose.
He's been better than Downs. Barely played. And been better than the bloke who never plays in goal. What's his name?
Areola,
yeah. He's playing tonight, though. Are they winning?
Let's have a look. Go on, you carry on.
And then worst signing. And he put Kehia from PSG.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. Kerry's not. He was good against us, Tottenham, but or Paqueta. I'd even throw Paqueta. I know you said Paqueta before, but I'd throw Paqueta in there.
And then to end off, most disappointing.
Sorry, as we speak about West Ham, they're 1-0 up half time. Jared Bowen.
Yeah, it surprised me. Probably deflected goal.
Yeah.
Most disappointing. He's gone for Mikel Antonio.
Yeah, I don't know though. West Ham a weird one because. You talk to everyone who supports West Ham, not everyone, but majority of them say he's rubbish, he's awful. They don't expect anything from him, but it's frustrating to watch when he's running the ball off the pitch and God knows what.
I think you expect him to be a handful and be a nuisance, like he was. Who did they beat? Like Everton, like he was that assist. That's pure Antonio, where he's just being a beast.
Yeah. West Ham most disappointing. I'd probably, again, it's probably a bit harsh, injured and not playing, but Scamacca come in. Big money signing, big centre forward.
Constantly injured.
Yeah, I'd say Scamacca.
Yeah, I would say Scamacca as well, personally. And then moving on to Southampton, Callum Doyle. Best player, there's only one answer, isn't
Shock,
there?
yeah.
Captain, leader, legend. JWP,
Free kick merchant.
golf swing.
Yeah.
James Ward-Prowse.
Yeah, no, has been good for them.
Worst player, I think you probably pick a lot of these.
Yeah, anyone. Any of the above.
Elyounoussi.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't really comment on that.
Yeah, he's a midfielder, and
Yeah.
to be fair, Southampton, I couldn't really comment, but yeah, go on.
Best signing was the Lavia from City they got him, didn't they?
Yeah, they bought a load of weird youngsters, didn't they?
Bought a load of players from City, didn't they?
Yeah.
I think they got the City Academy coach,
Yeah.
didn't they? They just
Yeah.
went through the youth team. Players are out of contract.
Yeah.
Worst signing, Orsic.
Mm.
And most disappointing, Aribo from Rangers, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But then,
Has he been injured? He hasn't. He's not played at all.
I don't know much
He was
about
doing
him.
okay at the start.
But I will always say this: if you sign players from Rangers and Celtic, they're at a level which, in their league, is good. I mean, you had the odd exception like the Van Dijks, who they've obviously signed from, and I think Tierney's obviously a good player.
But I think they go there initially because they can't make it a top Premier League, a Premier League team, and then they go to Rangers or a Celtic because they're obviously massive clubs in Scotland. They win everything. They're usually in Europe in some description. So it's a huge opportunity. It's like that Todd Cantwell from Norwich just gone there this month. Perfect opportunity to go and play for a massive team.
And play Champions League football next year.
Yeah, exactly. And would you want to do that, or would you rather float relegation in Premier League, Championship, maybe be a good team in the Championship? I don't know if it's probably worth it.
Yeah,
but
he'll be playing Champions League football next season, which is just a joke, isn't it?
Yeah, and like you're saying about Aribo, he's had his time at Rangers. All right, I want to try the Premier League, and I think you expect more, but it's like you said, it's probably his level.
So we've got the Arsenal and the Spurs ones, we'll get onto them in a bit. And then we've got Jim Hyde, Chelsea.
Oh, please.
He sent an essay. He was struggled with this one. He was like, best player. He put Thiago Silva and then Reece James when fit.
Yeah. Probably, Thiago.
Worst player, Aubameyang.
Yes, definitely. He's got to be worst signing, surely.
Best signing, he said, no one in the summer really sticks out at all. And then he's got high hopes for Felix and Midrick.
Yeah, I think it's a bit cliche, but you could tell. I mean, I don't agree with Felix's the way they've got him, and the loan is ridiculous price, and even Mudryk. But you could tell in their little cameos they've done. I know Felix got sent off, but the little cameos they've had, you could tell they're some good players.
They look like they've got improvements there. Worst signing is Mr. Swag himself.
Has to be.
50 Aubameyang. That's all we used to bloody post on Instagram now. But no. And then most disappointing, Koulibaly.
Yeah. Is that question? Is that from a player that's come in, or is it just in general?
Just this season.
Okay.
This season.
Yeah, Koulibaly. Again, seems like always against us, but Koulibaly was brilliant against us. Scores a worldie, but looks like Sanchez, really.
Yeah.
Which is awful. Awful.
Well, I said that he wouldn't be a great signing for them because it'd been in Serie A this time. I remember Arsenal played him under Emery and just annihilated him. Salah's annihilated him enough times in the Champions League.
I think if you'd have got Koulibaly a couple of seasons ago in his absolute pomp at his best, then it might have been a very different story. But not good.
So you want to start on Spurs or go to Arsenal? Or
we'll go Spurs. Go on. You let me know what Dan says.
Best player. Easy one, I think.
Yeah. Højbjerg. No, Harry Kane.
Kane, and Dan's also put special mention to Kulusevski as well.
Yeah.
As a little.
When
fit, he put when fit,
I said about him before the season started, but a bit unfortunate with his injuries. But very good player. Best player, Harry Kane, without doubt.
Worst player. He's put two. He couldn't really put between two of them, but he put one ahead just.
Worst player. This is not a signing, is it? This is just...
worst player,
Yeah, generally think the worst player is...
You can't say Højbjerg here either. You can't.
Well, you gonna do...
No.
No, I'm not...
I know you don't like him, but he hasn't been your worst player.
No, funnily enough, Højbjerg actually isn't the worst player. You could throw Royale, you could throw...
Royale's one of them.
Sessegnon, Longley, Lloris... I don't know. Go on.
Dan put Lloris first and then Royale.
Lloris isn't our worst player.
No, but this season...
Yeah,
That's
I
what it's
don't know.
based on, the 18 games you
Yeah,
played.
I think he falls under the most disappointing. But I've got another player for that section anyway. But yeah, no, I don't disagree with Lloris at all. But yeah, there's a few.
Sure, most disappointing this guy.
He's the most disappointing transfer. There's another player for the most disappointing.
Best signing.
Best signing we've made.
Mm.
Perisic.
Yeah, that's what Dan put.
But he's not been brilliant.
Yeah, that's
He's
what
just played
he
more.
put best of a bad bunch.
Yeah, he's played a lot, and he has a more consistent performance. But yeah, Spence doesn't play. Basuma, like I said last week, looks like KSI. Yeah, Richarlison is the worst transfer by a country mile. He's the possibly worst transfer in the league ever. £60 million and scored 2 goals in the Champions League.
And cried.
And cried.
And got Neymar on his back.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Don't even. So I think we just got sold a dream. Absolutely sold a dream.
Got sold. You got sold like the Primark version of Gabby Jesus.
Oh, yeah.
For double the price.
And he goes to World Cup, scores a worldie. Oh, yeah. Don't know. Yeah. I'd like to know, what did Dan say? Did he say Richarlison?
Worst signing. He put all of them. He's very anti-Spurs at the moment.
I don't blame him. It's been rough. And like many, not just myself, but a lot of people looking at Spurs before the season, looking at us, we're doing some good business, getting some areas that we needed. But yeah, I know they need time, and you can't just jump the gun. But wow, we've had some shockers.
And then most disappointing.
Mine's Son, without a doubt. Heung-min Son.
He hasn't gone for a play. He's gone for Levy. He's just to do his agenda.
Oh yeah, but he's not. Every year he's not good, so you can't say But Son for me,
I think you agree with that.
Winning the Golden Boot. Yeah, I think he's had a shock.
Has he scored again in the Premier League apart from Leicester game? Just them 3 goals.
He scored a hat trick, so he scored 3 goals in the Prem, which is he scored a hat trick in that game, so it's sort of quite skewed, if you like. But yeah, no, it's disappointing. It has to be Son. Like I said last year, top goal scorer, played really well. Him and Kane were a brilliant, were a joke of a partnership. And yeah, this year's performances have been awful, absolutely awful.
No, that's good. So me and Griff, I was actually very similar actually. It's actually quite hard doing this, to be honest. Best player. As it stands, there's so many.
Yeah, just whatever your preference is, really.
We both went Odegaard.
Yeah.
I mean, it hurts me not to say Saka, but I think Odegaard. But Saka's been the same. He was last season. He was best, but Odegaard's been better. You know what I mean? Worst player. I mean, everyone knows I absolutely despise Cedric Suarez, but Griff puts Cedric because he goes to that one. He's played like 3 games.
I was about to say, has he actually
barely
played,
but he against that Brighton in the Cup, he was horrific. It was fault for all the goals. I've actually put worst player is Fabio Vieira. It's a bit harsh saying that. He just looks so lightweight and.
And I think you could say Lokonga, but it's not really. Again, there's
a play in there. He's been given a few minutes here and there, but I just think. I don't know. I think I'm going to be harsh on him, but Arsenal really haven't had a worst player.
No, and you're like you said, Cedric is probably your worst player, but he doesn't play.
Yeah,
Lokonga doesn't play. Like, you have to sort of. It's a more realistic.
I could put Rob Holding in there, but
again, does he really
bad.
play? Yeah, and he hasn't. Yeah, hasn't been the worst.
I just think Vieira. I expected him to be at a level that he's not, but I didn't know him before we signed him, so I don't know. Maybe he just needs time. Best signing, we've both agreed on this one. Zinchenko.
Yeah, he's been brilliant. I think it would be Jesus.
Yeah, it would have been,
if he hadn't been injured. But yeah,
since coming back from Christmas, Zinchenko has been a joke. And he looks like he's been more than just football-wise. I know that sounds cliche, but you know what I mean.
No, yeah, he's been good.
Worst signing. So Griff did say Marquinhos and did put in brackets. I know this is harsh. I do think that's a little bit harsh. But he's getting loaned out now, so hopefully he gets his time.
I think he's one for the future.
Worst signing, I've put Matt Turner, the goalkeeper.
Really?
Did you watch the game on Friday?
I did, yeah. Was he that bad?
He's just nowhere near the level. Like, I'm not being funny. If we lose Ramsdale, we're done. And I'm not Ramsdale's biggest fan, but Matt Turner is like championship quality at best. He's horrific. He looks like he jumps like 10 seconds too late. Looks like he's seen what's I saying?
Rabbit
deer in headlights. Rabbit in headlights. He's petrified. Like, he's absolutely petrified. So, and he'll never be at that level. He can't play football with his feet. Yeah. Man City signed that goalkeeper from the German league somewhere. Hoffenheim, I think he was. Yeah. he looks pretty decent.
Yeah, he's from I can't remember, that Ortega bloke. He got relegated, or
Yeah, from the Bundesliga.
from the Bundesliga. Yeah,
Yeah.
they've bought him in.
Yeah,
Yeah, he must be absolutely loving life.
but he looked alright. He looked confident.
Yeah,
Matt Turner does not look confident,
yeah,
and he's got like really short limbs. But I don't know. He just looks weird.
yeah. Bad signing.
Yeah, I just don't.
What is
think
he? Have you bought him or?
Yeah, we bought him.
But
for
then
like,
he last season more
I
maybe.
don't know.
Yeah.
But then, are there any good backup goalkeepers?
No,
There isn't, is
God
there?
knows.
No.
Talk about the tree trunk Forster,
Yeah.
Christ.
But
Yeah.
yeah, it is what it is. And most disappointing, Griff's gone for Sambi Lakonga.
Mm.
I've gone for Emil Smith Rowe.
Mm.
Bit harsh, but I'm disappointed because he had such a good season last year,
Mm.
and
He hasn't really.
he's been
has he
injured. He's been
Yeah.
injured since October, and
Yeah. He's only just come back now.
just
hasn't
hasn't kicked on. And I'm disappointed not in him as such,
For
but
him as such.
it's disappointing that he's created nothing, done nothing this season. We're now in January, but then maybe that's a good thing it'll be fresh for the end of the season. I don't know.
he? Yeah.
But no, just disappointing around him,
Mm.
shall I say?
No, I like it. Good little section and good questions, and I think good answers from everyone. Really.
No, thank you for that.
Thanks for getting involved.
Yes,
As
there'll
it
be
did.
plenty more polls and questions and that to get
Yeah.
involved in. Winner loser?
Yeah, as I say, we haven't really got much more business to talk about, really. I suppose. Yeah, we'll move on to winner and loser, and then finish with a teaser.
Yeah, no, that sounds good.
Go on, I'll let you go.
Shall I go first? My
Yeah.
winner of the week? I've gone winner of the week, the Talking Loyal podcast.
I love it.
I've given it to ourselves.
Good.
I said the reasons are we've had our biggest week in terms of numbers and engagements, and the most I've seen people repost our
Yeah, it's
pictures.
so
I've
true,
just it's been nuts.
Yeah.
I go on all these stories and just see our posts pop up and just think, oh, wow, that's cool.
Yeah,
Like,
it's
thank you
cool.
again for everyone
Yeah.
who's done that. Thank you everyone who's given us ratings and
Mm.
liked our YouTube videos and watched it and
Yeah.
blah blah blah. And a personal goal of mine from starting this, like everyone said, what do you want to do this for? We've interviewed a former footballer, and not only just a former footballer, he's played for England and played in the Premier League, and I personally think that's quite cool.
Yeah.
Like-
yeah. I mean, yeah, we, like you said, like we do this just because we want to, we enjoy it, and we spoke about ages ago. But yeah, it essentially came from a stag do, and we just wanted to have fun with it. But yeah, if you did actually write down, what do you actually want to do you want to achieve, then I think getting a ex-professional one is a bloody good start.
It's cool.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm an absolute nerd of football. I love it. I'm just like, I'll goon or whatever. If I was from in the streets, I'd like probably. I even said now, if I was to be lucky enough being a match, I'd still walk out and hold Odegaard's hand. I would wear full kit. 28 years old, I would wear full
Knee-high
kit
socks.
and hold Saka's hand and walk out at the Emirates. I'd still do it.
Quality.
But that's how much I would love that. The end goal, like for Sunday, would be to have
Arsenal's mascot.
singing dog, but just to be interviewed. Like imagine interviewing, like we saw that other pod we saw the other day, and they're interviewing like Van Dijk and things like that. It's just cool, like.
Yeah.
But it's baby steps, blah, blah, but to interview a former England and Premier League player was a tick of mine, and to do it in under 6 months
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
was pretty cool. I thought
No,
personally.
I like it. Very good. Very good
We're
choice.
sitting here, brand new microphones. Hopefully, it sounds nice and crisp.
Yeah. I hope it's not. Yeah.
The
absolutely
singing's
ruined.
done, and yeah, just moving forward.
Yeah, nice.
Talking all, we don't know where sky's the limit.
Very good. Like it. My winner. I've gone for a bit of a different one. I've gone for the videographer for Grimsby Town. And I don't know if you saw it. Like we said, we didn't really watch the football, but yeah, the videographer for Grimsby, employed by Grimsby Town. His name is Liam Emerson. When they made it 2-2, they scored a late equaliser at Luton, and their away fans are right behind the goal. They've peeled away, and the guy with the camera, this Liam, is obviously meant to be capturing the moment, and he is. But as they run past him, gives it like a little hop and a skip and a jump, and his legs like sort of bend up, and he's celebrating, but he's thinking, oh crap, I'm actually doing a job here. I need to capture this moment. But yeah, it was just good to see. It was quite funny, and yeah, I'm not sure, Grimsby Town, maybe Conference
or League Two,
possibly. Yeah, and yeah, obviously a massive result for them, getting a late equaliser, and yeah, Liam Emerson trying to do his job, but also trying to live in the moment as such, and enjoy his team's goal. So yeah, winner of the week, Liam Emerson.
No, that's cool. My loser week, I struggled in this one a bit because I didn't know who to put. I had a Liverpool / Frank Lampard a little bit. But I've actually gone loser of the week. Andy Carroll.
I nearly went for him. Yeah, go on.
Just an absolute disgraceful performance put in at Old Trafford. 2 yellows, red card for Reading.
Yeah.
What's he, 35 now?
Yeah.
Grow up, cut your hair, and go home.
Yeah. I was going to...
A short
very
one.
Very similar loser of the week. But I'm trying to just get the table up now. 1 second. My loser of the week is Kolo Toure. He was the...
Yes.
I think he got sacked by Wigan maybe 4 or 5 days ago.
Colo.
He was in charge of Wigan for under 2 months, 9 games in the Championship. So he was in charge when they played 19. They played 28 now. They're rock bottom. I think 4 points. Let's have a look. 25. Yeah, 4 points from safety. Yeah, Kolo Toure, 9 games in charge, sacked. I think he didn't win a game, got 2 points from 9. His backroom staff has been sacked. Sean Maloney's been pulled in. So, yeah, Kolo Toure, my loser of the week.
He was second choice for that job as well, because his brother was first choice. I saw some stat about that. He's played like 40% of his games against Luton as well. He played like Luton twice or maybe 3 times.
I think he got a replay in the cup at Luton.
Poor old Kolo.
Yeah.
Go back
Kolo
to
Toure,
go back to being assistant with Brendan.
Yeah, backroom staff. That's all you got, mate.
Right, to end the pod, let's go back to the teaser. So, Mudryk became the most expensive January signing by a Premier League club in history. Soon to be outdone by
as
Enzo
we speak,
Fernandez.
Yeah, we're learning that Fernandez probably, if it happens, will be the new record.
But whose record did he break?
January, I'm thinking, was it an older, not an older player, but a few years back, are we talking?
No, the clue I'll give you, they're all the top 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 are all in the last 5 years.
Oh, really? January.
There's suspense.
I'm gone blank, if you can tell from the lack of noise. I wouldn't even know who went in January.
You'll kick yourself if you don't. If
really?
When I hear it, yeah.
Was it a Man United purchase?
Surprisingly not.
Really?
He's in the top 5 though. One of the Man United players, yeah.
I don't even know. I need a clue. I need help.
What clue can I give you? Centre half. He's struggling.
I was just thinking of Harry Maguire, but you said it's not United, so it's obviously not him. This is
Should I tell you?
Yeah, it does. Yeah, to be honest, you can. I literally couldn't even think of anyone.
Virgil van Dijk.
Oh, fair enough. Yeah, I wouldn't even say. I was never getting that.
Then after Virgil, it was Emerick Laporte, Christian Pulisic, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, and Bruno Fernandes.
Fair enough. On that as well, United spoke about United, but so Chelsea spent over $500 million from the summer. They're barbaric spending. And United, second to them, spent from Ten Hag's coming in the summer 230 million pounds. And they want the Glazers out for not spending money, not backing the manager. And Chelsea want their Chelsea back. Like I said earlier, I think they got them just in an American form, and long may it continue.
They've got £100 million Anthony, £100 million Jadon Sancho.
Yeah, who needs a
£8 million Maguire.
Oh,
yeah.
They did have Ronaldo, the GOAT.
We shall see.
Yeah, a good question, but no hope.
See what happens tomorrow. Could be sitting here with Jorginho. Imagine Jorginho plays on Saturday in an Arsenal shirt. Jorginho in red.
Well, imagine Pedro Porro plays for Man City on Sunday. Oh dear, what a mess! What a mess.
Yeah, hopefully we can start the pod with Kane magic, Coys.
Coys
Coys.
City. No, I'm wearing my Man City away kit on Sunday.
No, come on. You got to support your own team. Come on.
No, I support my old mate Walker. Hopefully he's bowling up and down the wing. Just has Son in his pocket.
Got to get them 3 points. Well, yeah, I think that brings a nice end to the pod.
Yeah.
Like we brought up at the beginning, thank you all again for listening, sharing, liking, whatever you do, wherever you listen, all the platforms, they all mean a lot. They all come through. Keep going. We're really enjoying it. I hope the new sound quality, if you actually notice the sound quality being different, do drop us a message, send us a DM or whatever.
And if it's rubbish, we'll figure out in a minute. But if it is
tell
rubbish,
us where do you listen to it? Do you listen to it out on speakers? Do you listen to headphones? Because Jack sometimes messages me in the morning and be like, oh, I find it a bit crackly in the car, but I'm listening to it in my AirPods and I think, oh, it sounds right. So let me know what you listen to and how you listen to it, and basically give us some feedback on what the new mics sound like.
Essentially, we listen to it, and we obviously look beyond the sound because it's our thing and we're trying to enjoy it and stuff. But if you're exactly that, just give us advice and feedback, really.
So we will be back next week, episode 32. Stay loyal and coys.
Stay loyal. Sete.